All right, so we at the 3rd Street Promenades, and I'm actually here. I found a dope table, and we're just gonna actually do the 1-year review right here. So, just kind of getting into the overall hardware, man. Like, one, I did initially put the screen on wrong. That's why you guys kind of see those bubbles. Like when I put it on, I think I ended up putting it on crooked, so I ended up taking it off, and it just never really stuck fully. But you know, when you're planning and everything, you can't really tell. But you know, just kind of overall, let's go ahead and make our way around it. So at the top, like, so in the corners right here, I don't know if you guys can see in that headphone jack, I think it's a little crack right there. Let's see, up top, the HDMI port, you know, still no issues with that, we're good. There is a little crack in the middle, but that pretty much comes with all HDMI ports, right? Like, pretty much anytime you go in and out multiple times, like, that's gonna happen, but you still gonna get your functionality out of it. And then the OTG cable at the top, I never really used because it does have built-in Wi-Fi, so you really don't have to worry anything about that. On the sides, we're good to go on the sides. There weren't really the buttons. My volume buttons are, you know, they're still clicky. Still not making any, they still work up and down, so you're good on that end. On the right side, as you guys can see, the power button, the reset, everything is pretty much good from from the button aspects, but as you guys can see, cosmetically, on the inside, there's just plenty of sand in there. You know, I have been playing it a lot. I've been taking it to the beach. And then if you can see right here, we actually have our first crack. You can actually see the first crack. And I know for a fact, like, it didn't come from any drops. Like, I never really dropped this system, but this came from, you know, just storing it in my backpack and just being super rough with it, like, while I was skating and doing everything else with. I didn't really notice it at first. It wasn't until recently where I just kind of decided I was going to do the 1-year review, and I looked around and I just kind of saw, I'm like, damn, you know, there's definitely a crack right there. At the bottom is still just a lot of sand, but then, like, you can start to see that separation, right? And then another thing that kind of concerned me, you know, just moving towards the back, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's actually a crack back here. And again, originally I thought that was from, you know, just me being rough with it in the backpack, but then I'm starting to notice, like, as I'm playing it, like, earlier I charged it up, it was on like 56%, and then me sitting down for like 10-15 minutes, it actually completely died. So now I know that battery has for sure expanded. So I'm actually gonna stop playing. Yeah. So, like, when you turn it to the side, you can see it's for sure warping, and I'm about 100% sure that's why the battery is messed up on it. So, dang, but it's all good because we did get a year use out of that. I don't know, we may replace that because I'm pretty sure it's just a regular 3500 milliamp battery. It's an easy replacement, but it just kind of sucks that I got to do that. And then that can also come from overcharging too. Like, it's a lot of different reasons why that probably could have happened. Again, if I was rough with it in my book bag, it probably did sit out a little longer than it probably should, and I was not using the cord that it came with. I know I've used multiple different cords, from fast chargers to slow chargers to pretty much everything that I probably once supposed to use, I used to charge this. So I'm actually not even mad, but again, I know for sure that I definitely just blew that battery. Totally fine. Let's see, triggers and everything still working. I mean, like, if you want it, like, I know earlier I did have it plugged in from the bottom. I'll probably do a little footage of that as well, but you know, everything still works. You can still get to the games, do what you need to do from there. And then, you know, joysticks here, have click on it, everything still kind of goes. I'm not gonna lie though, this left stick is a little loose. You know, it still does its job, but you can just tell that I've been using it heavy. Like, I use this for pretty much every game, whether it's a analog stick top game or not. Like, I'm using this. And yeah, so this is pretty much still solid. Like, D-pad is for sure still solid. But overall, man, like, hardware wise, like, for a year, and when I say a year, I mean like real, like, heavy use. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say daily use. I wouldn't say every single day, but you know, for that time period that I did have it, when it was like my dedicated, my only device, like, for sure it got its use out of it. So, you know, for $119, I was able to get like a full 365 out of that, a bunch of views on YouTube, and it inspired an entire channel from that. So I'm actually good with that. One more thing, the memory cards. Both memory cards are still the stock one. This bottom one is for sure stock. This top one, I think I did have to replace this. It wasn't because there was anything wrong with it. I just ended up, oh damn, there's a crack in the middle to the job I'm just now seeing. Damn. Oh yeah, I was for sure rough on this system. So this was not made for, like, just sitting in the backpack. But yeah, what about the memory cards? It wasn't because of, you know, I had to replace it because anything was wrong. I just ended up taking out the original memory card and using it for my camera. And then once I blew that, I had to go ahead and replace it. That's all. But man, just a year. Like we might have to go ahead and put this in like a case and go ahead and frame this, because I don't want to sell this. Like this really kicked off my entire YouTube channel. So we'll get a couple games. I'll give you guys a list of the current games that I'm playing or were playing on here. And you know, my top games for the system already. I know you guys have seen like the top for pretty much every platform except for like RPG. So I'm gonna give you my favorites, like my top games to actually play for this, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up with this device.